My beloved child, they tried to destroy you, but something terrible happened to them instead. And, at that moment, as you're reading this, all the hidden action was being tracked overhead. But justice comes suddenly and turns their world upside down. This was so quick that even they themselves were not expecting such. This list of all the strikes has been in existence since the very beginning. Anything that they did to cause harm was monitored. But nothing now is done by your will to make amends to the pain. Heaven, with her hand, is silent now. Hear me, my child. Events now are born out of high places. Desistance end, and God intervenes. Waiting is no longer included in the next thing. Today it is out of door. Before your eyes, their downfall takes place. This is what is offered you, dear, a vision of light in justice. In this case, it is a matter of no possibility, but design over time. By silence, the unseen spectators watched all the concealed designs. Action begins, movement step by step. The moment has come, long awaited yet suddenly so. Up the place above, where the light awaited, a shadowy conversation was rolling in a secret communion below. Of silent form, what next is imposed. You see now, Phyllis, what was so woven about to shred you to pieces has come to nothing. Here comes the truth. Here in this moment. One attack after another succeeded, but there was no defense. What seemed frail proved the test. The weapons of their destruction are rapidly turning into something quite different. When humans decide to abuse an individual whom God has differentiated, their downfall starts then. Since that moment, everything works out against them. What struck them already? Only a hint of what is to come. See it clearly. Divine response is prompt. The agony is slow at first, becomes more cumbersome. This was not a fortuitous event. It was constructed in parts. Now they have their own way. Any action against the anointed comes back to haunt. Wheels above go low, but pound out all the blemishes. What follows depicts divine eyes remain open wide when loved ones are in danger. You are to see, there was no time when one was not present. The company was ever close, even in savage strikes. He prepared secret defenses about you when he had schemes on secret councils. Every drop of sorrow you dropped, hoarded up above, in a jar which could not be seen by eyes down below. Whatever was the pain, put it into a record book, put into time out of time. Something queer rescued you in adversity. Something invisible would not allow it to pass, the thing it was when all was broken. There was in you a silent power that held you in that position, as the stalwart arms hold aching bones. Now there were some very vigilant creatures. They were lying there to protect against sudden dangers which they had in mind against you. These cannot be seen by the human eye. However, shields above stopped their attacks. It showed us all what you were and why, and thus it had a reason why it was so cruel. Pain like this, it is creating something in you that cannot be shaken, right down to the root. Not that, but that something greater than you carried you away. Worth isn't earned. You can see it, and it's already in you and the one who made you. Where man has scorned, there sits that which has crept up and made your sore theirs. As you are the target, damage goes unseen, met with mute, obstinate opposition. What dwells in the unseen is on watch. Type Amen if you believe in God. Not out of obligation, but great respect. This burning was never meant to shatter you. This now is a man who has been taken through the flame and burnt and refined like metal. The seasons pass, and this one has passed. You come to light, not by chance, but because the survivor within was born. Unseen things come to fore, sharp, plain to the eye. Truth is tardy, but is accurate and full. The truth tells the truth, and shows all the hidden parts of their plan. Lies hurt so much and cuts like a knife, are made with the purpose to make the other peoples think of you forever. The lies they had told started turning hearts against you and stuffing the chinks of trust between you with silence. Each time you landed on your belly, they were toasting behind the doors, laughter ringing in their dark rooms. You struggled to live, just to live. Their hands silently broke each opportunity on your side. It was only when things began to take shape that someone ensured that it was torn apart once more. When they had just started to have any chance of winning, they wiped the whole thing out. They feigned to be on your side and violated it as soon as they could. What you spoke privily was bullets. Over and over. It was in the dark that they were well off, and they joined other dark parties who wanted to be hurt and cut all hands that could have saved them. Their greatest wish, and the sight of you in the pit of grief and struggle and of the hurt that never heals. And all they did was to undermine your courage. Their aim was to destroy, perhaps the only object which could save you, my else, in a something beyond this world. It was at this time, when getting back up was impossible, that they attacked, when it was so thick to take another step. However, they tried harder. Going to the core, they were basing on a single factor. You would walk away of all. Their weapon was prayer, a weapon which was destined to kill who you love. Skepticism leaked in, as someone was making the best effort to sow it. Brokenness, and that they hoped would sink into every stratum of your days. Their scheme was being snarled, as it were, out, at a crawl. You were weaving smiles along in a success of your fall, so that no one could see what was on your false side. But in the shadows, all the actions were observed by eyes which they never thought had been there. One day they believed that spiritual fairness was just a myth of old people who believed in that. Quite far afield indeed. What was on your side was as though your own sawbone. It was more formidable than they thought. Your radiance popping out of the blue could not be taken by their snug fulcrums. Had you divested nakedness, the hollowness they carried. Their inner lack was reflected in faith like yours. Even the mass of your future had impressed their silent apprehensions. Laughter spilled out. Suddenly they winced. You were clung to by the presence of God, as in the morning light. That in itself was skin-crawling. The stage of advancement succeeded to your stage, and they are still in the dust of old times. It was the fact that God elected you to do special things and gifts that really rubbed them the wrong way. This jealousy panged, grew to bitterness. Bile had cleared the way to injury. A demarcation there was a line. Nevertheless, they went through it. The one they came to was in heaven. A son of the Most High was there, where they have struck. War began, not out of will, but due to blindness to what is above. At the moment, they are experiencing a pain never before. What was it that struck the ones that tried to destroy you? And horror unspeakable, they were brought justice by above. Sudden, sharp, impossible to miss. It is now what they tried to destroy. Outside exposure to two faces. Truth spreads fast. Individuals know of the fraud. This game is improving, day in, day out. What they say, how they act. Counting people are beginning to take note. Quickly old friends are deserted by the reality. just like they blocked others, chances slip away from them too. What stood behind their plans is washed away, just like walls sinking into wet ground. Type amen if you believe in God. Pressure grows from banks, loans, fees, each one pulling tighter. Funds once held safely now slip through fingers without warning. Out of nowhere, bonds once held close begin unraveling fast. Nights stretch long because regret lingers behind closed eyes. Quiet moments now feel foreign, gone like smoke and wind. Fear now walks beside them every single day. Trapped by their own trick, they face what they planned for someone else. Their hidden hole, meant to ruin another, holds only them. Each wicked scheme now unravels, right where it began. Every curse aimed your way lands back on them, sevenfold without warning. They kept going until their choices caught up with them. What worked for a while faded fast, yet your standing lasts forever. Pound. The sky held back, timing things just right before bringing them low. Right now, everyone sees them falling apart. A quiet miracle unfolds in your return, step by step. Pain teaches what words never could. Harming those chosen has a price. What comes from heaven hits harder than anything people can do. Regret sits heavy in their chest, sharp and quiet. Out of nowhere it struck them. Opposing you meant facing something far greater. Slowly, the truth took shape. Divine hands were around you from the start. Nowhere else is the drop so sharp as when they stare at what's crumbling ahead. You climb though, slow but steady, while their footing gives way beneath them. Blessings pile up around you. Even as theirs slip through fingers, they can't seem to close. Fear grips them now, as reality shows how fiercely protection works for those claimed by faith. What meets them is not anger, but a quiet force, turning moments into reckoning. Impossible outcomes arrive one after another, each more startling than the last. Type amen if you believe in God. Now they lie broken, proof of what comes after defiance. Others who once planned harm see the result, hesitate, then walk away, pout. Their fate speaks before any new threat can form. Shouts rise into the air, yet not a sound comes back from above. Looking for someone to step in, no one shows up when divine motion begins. Hands reach to mend, though each attempt crumbles like old stone. Still trying to fix things, though something greater won't allow it. A phase of reckoning has started, impossible to shorten. What's happening today? Only the first sign of what follows. Still at work on them, justice won't stop halfway. Each hurt they caused, mended now, stitch by quiet stitch. Not done until every scar inside you breathes again. Fresh strength grows where old wounds once slowed you down. That burden of broken trust, it finally slipped off your shoulders. Quiet healing now fills spaces. Those hurts used to occupy, now your trust runs deeper, since you witnessed help come straight to you. Those cries you shed, they soaked the ground, where big blessings now grow. Rising you are, higher than any tool ever built to harm you. Pushed forward by their actions, you move near to where life truly leads. What was aimed to harm now shapes the story of strength rising. Forgiveness grows inside you, though it has nothing to do with whether they earn it. Freed by letting go, you no longer carry their burden. See it clearly. Justice rests with God, not yours to claim. Healing takes shape when pain stops leading. Rising happens step by quiet step. Brighter days come without asking permission. Everything they took begins coming back now. Joy returns, deeper than before. Confidence grows again, built on something steady. Fate shapes what comes next. From hardship, a stronger self appears. This new person stands firm, untouched by others' cruelty. A force shaped by purpose begins within you. Streams of good fortune rush forward without warning. Where walls stood before, passage appears through unseen help. A fresh start arrives through honest hands, taking over from those who broke trust. Backed by growing respect, your name now clears faster than ever imagined. Money returns, not just replaced, but multiplied, filling gaps left behind. Everywhere you turn, chances keep growing bigger than they used to be. Others going through tough times see your story and find strength. For each wound they left, he pours out 2 gifts in return. Folks who doubted you'll stand there watching when things finally turn around. Seeing your rise will remind them how wrong they were to try bringing you down. Others, aching and worn out, will find strength just by hearing what you made it through. Favor has found its way into your days, clear for all to see. Out of every twist and turn, something useful emerges just for you. What lies ahead shines stronger than any dream you've held close. A fresh start shows up when honesty leads the way. Where you go next at work doesn't depend on titles or papers. Energy flows back into your muscles, your breath, your bones. Thoughts spark like stars in a quiet sky. From unseen places, links form without effort. Blessings settle on those you hold close, soft as morning light. Nowhere else will they honor what before they mocked. Living strong defines each day now. A word straight from above arrives. Complete triumph waits ahead. The top court has cleared your name across everything that exists. The ruler above all rulers made a lasting decision on your side. Nothing built to harm you will work or survive. When someone speaks out to harm you, it won't stand. That promise belongs to you, born under the highest name, part. Even now, messengers above are rejoicing over what's already done. Your downfall was decided long ago, fixed without change. Right here say amen, so everything owed to you returns. Hold on, knowing each fight ahead is already his to win. Beginning now, your victory tale takes shape. Step forward knowing divine care surrounds you. Come, with God beside you, defeat cannot touch you. Fight comes from above when standing quiet. Greater things wait ahead than what came before. Type amen if you believe in God.